This is my father, King Edward VIII, and this is my Uncle George, who's illegal. Excuse me here for a moment. Who's illegal, planning my kidnapping. I was born in 39, and George, my father's uncle, brother, and my uncle did my kidnapping in 41. This is Roosevelt. They're planning it then in 39. I wanted to I put a lot of YouTubes up, and I'm limited now in space, so I wanted to cut to the chase. John Kennedy helped kidnap me. His father had been appointed ambassador to England during, and I've got this turn wrong, haven't I? I have to do this one over and not, oh me. But anyway, I'm trying to laugh. It really isn't funny. But JFK's father was appointed ambassador to England by Roosevelt. And Roosevelt's in this picture with George, the illegal George VI, who helped kidnap me. So it gets a long list that I've put up. But JFK and his father helped in my kidnapping. In 41, I was brought to Moulton, Alabama, and given the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married a Childers. I'm the heir to the British crown. It was a frame done to my father, a plot to take him down. And then they kidnapped me, and there was an addendum to his forced abdication. I've put all this up there, and I am the legal Victoria II. Now I wanted to jump to this, so I've told a lot, and I was thinking about, I wrote a book, medical malpractice book, MD, A License to Kill, and I was living at Moonraker Apartments in Marietta, Georgia. And by the way, I wanted to say this, Larry Flint was shot in Lawrenceville during that time by a program shooter. I was writing about mind control used as a murder weapon and programming, and living at Moonraker. And Roger Moore, the movie had not been made. It was made a year or so later, and so was Timothy Dalton's movie, A License to Kill. And of course, that was the name of my book, MD, A License to Kill. Now I'm going to jump to, I had a letter from the FBI, June the 23rd of 79. Okay, April Fool Day of 80, with that letter and all, I had antifreeze put in me. And they burned my brain, and I knew I had to try to get a tox screen to see what was put in me. Instead, it was a fiasco, and I put that up. I wanted to get to this point. I was stuffed in a car. Lina Dempsey, mother of the twins who had killed them. They were born out of wedlock. And illegally, in the condition I was in, trying to get help, trying to get back to my apartment and my children, and was never able to. They stuffed me in the car, and she took me back to her trailer in Huntsville. And by the way, the American flag people that worked at the place that made them lived next door to it, so I was looking at the American flag. I didn't know my real name at that time, why all this had happened to me, not just the book. Anyway, Lina, when I got there, I was, how can you describe your brain being burned? And most people die from it. And trying to live and pretend you're not going to scream every moment and try to go to work. I went to work for the district attorney, Fred Simpson, so you get into clues to my identity that started back when I was little, but I just didn't know how to connect it, what was happening. But I went to work for the district attorney, passed a background check in May of 80 and worked for him. Simpson, as in Wallace Simpson, was supposed to have married my father, which was a lie. A double married Wallace Simpson and became the illegal Duke and Duchess of Windsor. Now, Duke was used there in my job, as in, just like I said, Doyle Duke owned it, and it was associated with the Duke of Windsor, who was illegal. And I sound like I'm babbling, trying to hurry and get this up because I'm limited on it, the time on it. So it was just in Warren House apartments I lived at while I worked for the district attorney Simpson. Well, JFK and his father were part of my kidnapping. JFK was appointed ambassador to England, 36 till they kicked him out in 46. I was born in 39, and that picture I just showed you of my Uncle George helped in my kidnapping in Roosevelt. In 41, I was born in 39. Okay, I was brought the Warren Commission. That's the reason they covered it up. It would lead back to their kidnapping me. But I'm living at Warren House Apartments working for Fred Simpson. Next job was Doyle Duke. Now then, I wanted to get to this part. When I was stuffed in the car, April Fool Day, I went and tried to get a toxin, and they really just tried to kill me. But I was stuffed in the car, and on Easter, I thought I was across the state line, and I thought I was dead for real. Anyway, I was taken to her trailer, and there I went in, and in the condition I was in, you can't describe hell. I sit there and I looked on the wall, and it was unusual. It had never been there, shouldn't have been. Looked like you walked into a nursery. It had plaques. I don't know how many, about 4 or 5. Really nice. She had pasted, somebody must have helped her, and they told her to. It was a Humpty+Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty+Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men can never put Humpty together again. So they had the king and the egg and the wall, really like you walk right into a nice nursery school. And the message there, I later knew, it confused me. I knew it meant something. It was unusual. Was that I'd had the antifreeze put in me, and nothing they could do, my father or anyone, to put me together again. So obviously it's gone on, and I am together again. It's been an ongoing hell, and I don't know where my children are. Now I wanted to get into just a little bit of this, and then I'm going to stop, because when I was little in Broth there, that horror house is how they treated me and abused me. But there was things that happened, like there was a collie dog, a purebred, sent from I think it was really a catalog like Spiegel that you could order purebreds back then. This collie that looked like Lassie was sent to their home. They couldn't even feed me, much less a dog. It was abused, but it was a purebred collie. You used to say that with Lassie come home in England. And then one of the other things was the older woman who would have been the grandmother of the twins ordered flowers. And she got this flowers that was a princess feather. And she could never figure out how it got in there, but they're beautiful flowers that was planted and it put up, well, princes. And I'm going to say this one because it's throughout my life, and I didn't know why until 83 when I found out about my kidnapping. But I lived, when my son Mark, who's the legal heir after me, he was born when I lived on Prince's Circle in Decatur, Georgia. So Prince's Circle was like a clue, and then my son's the heir after me. So Elizabeth and that whole brood are traitors. They are a member and high-ranking with the Illuminati. They don't even serve, if they were legal to the UK or the British. They should be well, they were war criminals, and so I'll end it at that. I hope I've said that, and I owe the Brits, and I hope that somehow we win.